On a busy weeknight, there is nothing better than just simple, easy, delicious pork chops. They're perfect. Hi, I'm Matthew, and I'm cooking from home, and I'm here to teach you a few tips and tricks on how you can make some better pork chops. So the first thing you need to know about pork chops is that there's many different cuts that you can buy at the store. The first cut of pork chops I'm going to show you are porterhouse chops. These center cut loin chops have a T-shaped bone. The loin is on one side of the bone, and the tenderloin is on the other. These are really great for grilling, baking, and broiling because they have a ton of flavor and they really hold their shape well. The second type of pork chop is a New York or center cut pork chop. These chops are boneless, have a nice fat cap on top, and they're really great for frying, for stuffing, or baking. The reason why these are great for stuffing is because they're usually cut pretty thick, and it's enough that you can cut down the center of the side and put in cheese, breadcrumbs, veggies, whatever you like to flavor your meat with, you can put inside of these New York pork chops. The next pork chop is a sirloin chop. These are usually less expensive than other cuts of pork, and it comes from the back of the loin. Sometimes these come with bones, sometimes they come without. It's one of the tougher cuts, and it's a great choice for slow braising. So for any pork dish that you're going to cook at a slow, low heat for a long time, that's going to be perfect for these sirloin chops. And finally, we have our rib chops, which is the kind that I'm going to use for my recipe. These are basically a really tender, center-cut chop with one bone on the right side, and the loin is on the other. And these are really great for quick cooking recipes. So basically, if you want to just pan fry, sear it really quick, broil it, something where you want to get dinner going quickly. So there's many different ways to cook pork chops, and every different type of occasion calls for a different method. But for me, during a weeknight when I'm tired and I just want something delicious and simple, I like to marinate my pork chops and then sear them. So into a bowl, let's add some honey, some stone ground mustard, some sliced garlic, some red chili flakes for a little bit of heat, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, salt, and pepper. This is the way that I like to season my pork chops. I think it's delicious, but you can do it however you please. That's what's great about marinating, about cooking at home, is you can do it however you like. And once it's fully combined, you are good to go. And I like to marinate my pork chops in a zip top bag because it's non-metallic, so you're not gonna have any weird chemicals going into your meat. What a marinade does is the acid and the salt in the marinade denatures some of the proteins, and with the powers of osmosis, it allows all those flavors to mix into the meat. And later on when you cook it, then your meat will be flavored from that marinade. And then after you've fully coated your pork chops, put it in the fridge for at least an hour. The longer that they stay in that marinade, the more those flavors will penetrate and the better flavor you'll have with your pork chops. After you take your pork chops out of the marinade, make sure you save that excess liquid for later because we're gonna use it. Take the wet pork chops and pat them dry with paper towel to make sure that the surface is dry so that it sears crisp and really beautiful. I would have your skillet at a medium-high or high heat. Put your pork chop in there, let it cook and brown fully for about 2 to 3 minutes so you have a nice dark brown crust, and then flip it over and cook the other side for another 2 to 3 minutes. So the goal for these pork chops is to cook them quickly, fully, and to still keep them tender and moist. By this point, the middle of your pork chop will be fully cooked. If not, turn it down low and let it continue to cook in that ambient heat of the skillet. Take them off the heat and let them rest. Keep it juicy and tender and delicious. The last thing you want is a dry, hard, crusty pork chop. Take your excess marinade and put it into the skillet. That's a ton of flavor in your marinade. We don't want that to go to waste. Let it come to a boil and let it reduce a bit. Keep stirring it until it's as thick as you like it. All that garlic, mustard, honey flavor will be incredible over the pork chops. And once you've got your plate with your sides, your veggies, and your pork chops, spoon over some beautiful, luscious garlic honey sauce. And then maybe for a little bit of color, I'm just gonna put some pickled shallots on top. I'm gonna cut into it, and oh, those look perfect. Let me take a bite. What can I say? It's really good. Thanks for watching. This has been one of my favorite ways to make pork chops, but down below, tell me how you make pork chops. Does your family have some sort of secret recipe? Let me know. We're all pork fans here. If you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe to Allrecipes for more. Okay, I'm actually gonna eat now. I'm so hungry.